This is me, fighting against a team of dupers with absolutely no source of healing. But how did I even get here in the first place? Let's rewind a little bit. You see, it all started when I decided to do a raid with all my teammates. Of course, once again, it wasn't even on normal mode or hard mode, so we couldn't get any totems from the raid. After that, Concept and I decided to go back to the Nether. However, as always, it didn't end too well. I got destroyed by a piglin and lost all my stuff. Luckily, we obtained some of my gear back afterwards, so it was fine for the most part. And then I got attacked by what seemed to be nothing. I thought that was kind of weird. Now, as we've already covered, I'm kind of Minecraft's worst player. So after going back to the Nether fortress that Concept and I found, I got attacked by a wither skeleton and almost died. And then I died to another wither skeleton. This time I came back to the fortress and thankfully didn't die. Instead, I started gathering the nether wart that I found, so that hopefully we can make potions in the future. I also kinda witnessed Mint dying, and normally I'm the kinda sincere dude who would just leave all his items be because he just died to natural causes, but in this case, I sorta stole a stack of breeze rods. But to make it less obvious, I decided to give half a stack back to him. After that, I started gearing up in a mine shaft, finding some diamonds, and even finding a notch apple as well. Also, shout out to Hoff. He's a pretty cool guy as well on my team. So yeah. Now by this point I'm sure you're probably wondering how I got that netherite armor from the beginning of the video. You see, to put it simply for you, my friend Concept explained to me that he was involved in a war so deadly that they had infinite restocks, because they were duping. So of course, I agreed to help Concept defeat this war. And that brings us back to now, where I came back to the base and Concept started gearing me up with full netherite armor that he obtained from the dupers. Now, we were ready to take our revenge against the dupers and find their stash. Or at least that's what I would have said, until I saw a player in the Nether who shouldn't have been there. It was Mint, and if I let him get to our base, our entire plan would be ruined. However, I didn't bring any food with me other than these gapples. Luckily, Mint missed his mace shot, but I wouldn't be getting that lucky forever. I got my wolf army and started attacking the army that got to our base. However, even with full netherite armor and a wolf army, without any food to heal, I was practically useless. I had to run every time that I got low. However, I wasn't gonna just leave my team to deal with all of these dupers themselves. Even without any food to help me, I had to figure out a way to assist them. And that's when I realized something. We had a food farm at our base that I could use to regen. So, I started killing cows to get some steak to heal myself. And once I had enough health, I went back into the fight. But the thing is, I was still at a major disadvantage. Steak was not only worse than golden apples, but it was 10 times worse than god apples. I had just been killed by one of the dupers, but I couldn't let that stop me. Instead, I decided to go get my gear, and I tried to keep fighting. However, it wouldn't be that simple, since they were still hunting me down and not letting me re-gear. I would die every single time I tried to get my gear back. However, I wouldn't let that stop me. I still needed to help my team out. But at a certain point, I realized there was nothing left that I could do. I would just keep dying over and over again, and I would never get my loot back. Eventually, I got out of combat and Concept TP'd me away. However, I had lost practically all of my gear, and we decided that there wasn't much point in fighting anymore. We had lost the war. Normally, I'd always end these videos off by saying I always get my revenge, and that I would avenge all my teammates. But this time, it was different. I couldn't do anything about it. So, we just kinda quit after that. We decided that it would be best to reset the server, and hopefully the Great Dupe War wouldn't happen ever again. And even though there's nothing left I can do on this season about it, that's fine. I don't always have to end on a win. It's okay that I'm not always the main character. I never have been. No one here is a main character, and no one is a side character. In the end, it's just a block game, and that's all that matters. We're just here to have fun. I don't need a revenge arc next season. I don't need to prove that I'm better than anyone else. I don't even need to follow along with all my teammates. I technically don't even need a team. I've already made up my mind. Next season, I'm going solo. I'll still be friends with all of my teammates. I can still be allies with them. But I just need more freedom. I need a chance to explore how I could survive as a solo player. Good luck next season, Concept.